and tribulations of my life.
Hmm.
As, as they say, there is a story hidden in the foundation of every relationship in life. Today is a momentous day when we are forging so many new relations across this forum. So let's initiate the same with a micro story first. Now, this is the story of two frogs. Let's call them Frog A and Frog B. Now, one day, Frog accidentally fell into a bucket of cream. And despite trying really hard, they just couldn't get out. They kept swimming in the cream to avoid getting drowned. And this continued for many hours. Soon, they both got tired. Now, Frog A said, "This is futile. We are never going to make it. We will get drowned and die at the end of it all. We are just draining our energy." To this, Frog B said, "It is always the last blow of the hammer that yields results. We should keep paddling." But Frog A gave up, drowned, and died. Frog B was sad for his friend's loss, but he continued to swim and paddle in the cream. In the process, the cream turned into butter, and Frog B easily climbed out of the bucket and was hence saved. Now, the question arises, how many of us give up in life like that Frog A? And how many of us take up each challenge head on and keep the struggle going? Well, if I were to talk about myself, I had almost given up on my life like that Frog A. But then my family not only stopped me from becoming like Frog A, but also gave me the strength and support to strive for a better life ahead, just like Frog B. Namaskar. I am Bandan Preet Mahajan from India. I'm an edupreneur by profession, a communication and life skills coach by passion, a youth skill mentor by choice, an environment crusader and social edifier at heart. I'm also an author, an anchor, a blogger, a creativity hub owner, editor, translator, and voiceover artist, all rolled into one. I have been an in charge in one of the reputed schools of West Delhi and an assistant professor of economics at several teaching forums. Sounds pretty cool, isn't it? But life was never smooth sailing. I had to face several storms, several challenges, and a volley of struggles. So I landed on this planet in 1978, and life was kind of pretty good, pretty cool. I had an emotionally and financially secure childhood. Then, at the age of 21, I got married. It was a love marriage, new relations, new ambience. I was very happy in life, but my happiness did not last long. Soon I realized that my in laws actually never wanted this marriage to take place in the first place. They tried every tactic in the world to get me separated from my husband, who stood firm by his resolve to stay with me come what may. And then started a phase of trauma, harassment, even torture, not just for me, but for my husband and my 4 year old daughter as well. This was followed by a long drawn legal battle for the next 14 years. Times were turbulent, times were tough. 4 years of trauma at my matrimonial home, followed by 14 years of court proceedings, not to forget the trauma caused by the frequent visits to the police station, the offices of lawyers. All this caused a whole lot of emotional stress and financial strain, due to which I slowly slipped into acute depression. I had to be administered heavy sedatives daily, and I would sleep not just hours, but for days on end. And when I would get up, I would just cry incessantly and get panic attacks. Slowly, I even developed suicidal tendencies. So, one member of the family would constantly stay by my side day in and day out, just in case I tried to. As for society, rather than empathizing with us in our times of distress, they actually went ahead and ostracized us. The reason being the social stigma that is attached to mental health issues. Some said she's lost it. Others called me mad. Some even went to the extent to say that I was possessed. This, given the fact that I had been a topper in school and college throughout, and had always been an active participant in all scholastic and co scholastic activities. Then, one fine day, my dad came to my room and told me, "My dear girl, if you want to conquer the fear, just get up. Don't just sit at home. Don't keep overthinking about the past. Get up, get up, get going, get busy. He was actually politely firm with me. He got me out of bed that day and took me to India Gate at 5:30 a.m. in the morning to see the sun rise. That day, as the sun shone bright in the sky, not only did I welcome a new day, but also embraced life. From there, my dad took me to Bangla Sahib Gurdwara for the next 40 days. 41st day, and my mom comes and tells me, "Why don't you start taking tuitions at home?" And I was like, "Mom, what are you saying? How can I teach kids?" The fact that everyone kept telling me that I had actually gone mad, I started believing the same. You know what they say, you actually go on to become what you keep telling yourself all the time, and that's exactly what happened with me. By now I had lost all confidence, but my mom said, "Beta, I have full faith in your capabilities and the Almighty." It took me time to realize that I was indeed caged in the vicious circle of self-limiting beliefs, something that I needed to get rid of, and so I agreed to teach one kid. Mummy said, "My dear, you can do it. Just don't stop. Just don't give up. Everything will fall into place in the long run. You will see." Unwillingly, I started teaching mathematics to a class 9 student. Thankfully for me, she performed fantabulously in her final exams, and that brought me back my confidence. That day, I shouted out loud in front of my own self and looking into the mirror, "I am what I am, and no one can take that from me." I felt empowered that day. From then on, the journey of my coaching institute by the name of Genius Editorial started. With the help of my mom and husband, I started expanding and diversifying it. Over the years, I've also got several opportunities to teach economics and English across various prestigious teaching forums. Simultaneously, I also kept pursuing several courses to hone my skills and to add to my skill set. In 2011, I was awarded with the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Excellence in Education Award for serving as a catalyst and for adding new dimensions to the field of education. The awards and accolades kept pouring in from all corners in terms of several national and international awards. From being someone who feared meeting people, I actually went ahead and became a certified and successful communication and life skills coach. I still remember that fateful day of April 4, 2004, when we were rendered penniless. A husband with no work, a wife suffering from acute depression, a daughter just 4 years of age, too young to understand what was going around her. Our family was actually going through an extreme state of crisis. It was indeed God's grace and undaunting support from my parents, my husband, my brother that brought me back in action. And since then, there has been no looking back. All the challenges and struggles actually proved to be blessings in disguise. Blessings that made me a better and brighter person in life. What is the moral that I draw from my story? Don't get annoyed by circumstances. As for experiences in life, you earn some, you learn some. Life is the greatest teacher. Have undaunting faith in God, come what may. When you leave the choice to people who love you, they will always choose the best for you. Never forget to practice gratitude. Live in the present. Be mindful. Cherish each and every moment of life. The fact that I'm alive and kicking is actually something that makes me eligible to practice gratitude. Life is a matter of choices. Every choice that you make goes on to make you. Thank you, everyone.
Hats off to you, Bandan. Your story was a very inspiring one, and a lot of women, we get to read are facing these kind of circumstances. So I'm sure that you can go on and inspire so many of them that, I mean, this thing which you told me that whatever people tell you, you tend to believe in that. I'm not sure whether I'm right, but there's also a term I had, learned not very long ago, gaslighting. So it's a, I think, a kind of gaslighting, where it's like it may not be noticeable, but it's so harmful to the person who's actually being victimized. So hats off to you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. I totally second you on that. It's all about, creating those self-limiting beliefs. And I think there's something strange about our brain. Our brain is hardwired in a manner that when it comes to, taking the negative thoughts,
Yes.
it becomes like Velcro and it attracts those negative thoughts. But when it comes to positive thoughts, then our brain and mind becomes like what is, as strong as Teflon. So the
Yes.
positive things don't get into your brain so easily. The negative ones do so easily.
Correct, correct, correct. Very true. But it's great that you could actually transform your life, and I'm sure you will be inspiring so many people around you. Keep going, and God bless.
Thank you so much for all the motivation and appreciation.
Hi, Bandan. This is Leena from Pune. And thank you for sharing your story. It was really amazing. And I really wish you a very bright future. You're already, earning so many accolades. But I really, wish you that you never ever turn back and look at that. And yes, you were right that they eventually turn into blessings. So keep it up and really
Thank you.
all the very best for your future.
Thank you for the
Stay
motivation.
safe. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Miller for giving me this opportunity to share my story, the story of my life. I so very much wanted to share this with all of you here. Thank you so much for having me here.
Very welcome. Okay, 3 storytellers to go. And they're all here. I'm delighted and proud to say. Uh, it's going to be Judith, Angela, and Sanjeev. So Judith Heineman from in New York City, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I believe we can.